A huge alt-right protest at the University of Virginia, and we should call these people really what they are, which are neo-Nazis. So, The Hill says University of Virginia police dispersed a gathering of far-right protesters on the Charlottesville, Virginia campus Friday night ahead of a planned demonstration by white nationalists, white supremacists, and alt-right groups on Saturday. All of those are code word for neo-Nazis. They say police arriving on the scene declared the protest on Friday a, quote, unlawful assembly and told demonstrators to disperse. Video footage of the gathering shows. Protesters holding torches clustered on the campus in an apparent lead-up to a Saturday demonstration protesting Charlottesville's decision to remove a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee. So now on the topic of, really quick, I want to talk about, because the Confederate statues are now being taken down. It's important to take those down off of state grounds because making basically the Confederacy, which not only is treasonous to the United States, but additionally basically had seceded for the purpose of slavery, and you have massive populations of African Americans within the South who are paying taxes and contributing to that society, and there are literally statues honoring people who fought to continue to keep them enslaved. And a lot of them have, literal white supremacy carved on them. And this is a good way for you to know that racism definitely still exists, because when they take down these statues, the person has to go with, I believe, like a ski mask on, because people often violently threaten them or beat them up, etc., etc. So these need to be taken down and put into a museum. Whether it probably be a private museum, I don't know about a public museum, but really needs to be put in a museum, because you can't have it on state grounds, number one, because it's treasonous to the United States to honor the Confederacy and the Confederates. Also, number two is that, like I said, you have African Americans paying taxes and being part of this society, functioning in the society. You can't have statues that honor the people who tried to and fought to enslave them, and to be able to beat them and whip them and force them to do involuntary servitude. So they say photos and video of the protesters posted on social media Friday showed demonstrators marching through dark walkways, chanting slogans like, quote, white lives matter, and, quote, you will not replace us. So this whole you will not replace us garbage is it's xenophobic nonsense, first of all. Now, when you say white lives matter, of course white lives matter, no doubt about it, but nobody's threatening white lives is the point here. But anyways, with the whole xenophobia that's going on, the massive xenophobia, we know the Defend Europe group is running pretty rampant, and it is very xenophobic and anti-immigrant. This whole thing is stupid. You often hear that, oh, by this year, whites are going to be a minority. They're only going to be a minority in comparison to every other minority combined, which is not, that's literally to that point. They're still a majority in comparison to every other group. It's just when you compound all of the minorities, just said minorities, they are going to be less. So it's not even, it's this whole hype job. What's up, guys? It's Saul Hill here. You guys are watching The Progressive Voice. Make sure you guys click subscribe down below. We're fighting Donald Trump tooth and nail, and we need your help.